What's going on, everybody? Today is story time with MSG. I'm gonna go ahead and warn anybody who's got a queasy stomach. This is kind of graphic. Some of the images I'm about to show and stuff. So if you're squeamish, I would click off. There is blood and stuff like that. I was attacked by a dog on September 20th. So just a few days ago. So Friday evening is when this happened. This past Friday. We've been going through a lot of things the last few weeks. One of our only cars that we have broke down. I've been going through a lot of medical stuff the last few years anyway. I've had multiple surgeries the last couple years. Here's Athena. Athena says hello. But anyway, yeah, so multiple surgeries the last few years. Literally within the last 3 years. Turning 30 sucks. So I don't know if it's like this for everyone or just me. But one of our only cars broke down, and I was going to pick my wife up from work. I haven't been able to work because of the surgeries, which is kind of why I've been doing a little bit more YouTube content, trying to get back into that on the side at least, to occupy myself and kind of, just do something. My surgeries restrict me a lot. So Friday evening, I went to pick my wife up from work, and she is I'm not going to give out too much information, but she's a dog groomer. And one of the animals at the salon had broken its leg. And long story short, when I got there to pick her up, she had told me about it, kind of waved me in, wanted me to come try to help him out in the situation. And I didn't even make it to the dog. I made it through the door, and the dog lunged. And I instinctively, because of my back surgery and stuff, I have dogs, obviously, so my instinct when they jump up is to kind of lean a little bit and throw my arm up so they don't hurt my back from the surgery that I had. And I did that instinctively because the dog didn't bark or growl or anything, which is really also another strange part of this. So I thought the dog was jumping up on me to tell me, hey, figure out who I was, stuff like that. But it wasn't. And had I not moved, it could have been a lot worse. You can see in this picture here how close it is to my throat, and on both sides. So very narrowly missed, some major arteries and stuff. But I leaned, and the dog lunged, and it got me. And immediately when it happened, I think one of the only things that stopped me from getting injured any further was the fact that I was able to get back out the door as soon as it happened. Because, it was immediately. There was so much blood. I've never lost that much blood in my life. And, it was bad. Anyway, so I've got a long road of recovery ahead. I don't know how much content I'm going to be putting up right now. It really depends on how I'm feeling over the course of the next few days. I wanted to share this with you guys kind of as a cautionary tale too. I'm an animal lover. I'm sure a lot of people out there are animal lovers. Just be really careful when you're approaching an injured animal, or really any strange animal for that matter. Even if the dog looks like it's harmless, things like this can happen. Obviously, if you can help an animal safely, I always am an advocate for that. But so I'm not in the clear yet. This is a long recovery for something like this. Risks of infection. We personally know somebody who used to work with my wife who was bit on the finger. Much less intrusive than this. And 3 or 4 days later, their whole finger was the size of a sausage, and they almost lost their finger due to infection. So with any dog bite, you run the risk of infection. After you're bitten by a dog, even if the dog is vaccinated and stuff, once they locate the animal and they run all those tests, they find out if it was vaccinated, check its shot records and stuff like that. They have to quarantine the dog for 10 days, and depending on circumstances, the dog is maybe quarantined at home or at a animal shelter. Depends on how bad it is and what the circumstances are. In this case, the dog was quarantined at home. but there's a risk of like rabies. So even if the dog's fully vaccinated, there's still a risk of that, based on the research and everything that I've been told. You have to get a PEP shot, which is a post-exposure prophylaxis. I'll put it on the screen. It's scary because rabies is always fatal once symptoms set in, and a lot of the symptoms that you experience post-bite are similar symptoms to what you would experience if you were infected with rabies. So like, it's really terrifying. They have to quarantine the dog, like I said, and then they contact you. Animal control contacts you over the course of the next 10 days to let you know if you need to take immediate action to go get the PEP shot, which is not one shot. It's a dose every so many days, up to 28 days, depending on how bad it is and whether or not you're immune compromised. But I do want to give a shout out to the medical team. I'm not obviously going to say where they are or anything like that. I actually went to an urgent care, and the urgent care that I went to was the most phenomenal team of doctors and nurses that I've ever had the pleasure of being around. I've been through a lot of surgeries the last couple years, and this was probably the best experience that it could have been given the circumstances. They were super sweet, nice. They took care of me. They got me stitched up. You might be wondering how many stitches I had to get. I had to get 13, and that's just because that's the ones they could get in. The location of the bite is like on the bottom of my throat right here, like right under the jawline, and on the chin, like right under the chin. So it's like a really awkward place for them to stitch. But yeah, I just wanted to touch base with you guys and let you know and kind of share like a cautionary tale of what it's like to get bit by a dog. I didn't really know where this video was going, so I'm sorry if I rambled, but hey, I appreciate everybody's support. Just please be careful when approaching animals, and I'll see you all later.